At a personal opinion, I worry that this judgment contradicts previous judgments of the Supreme Court in two clear ways. The first way, previous judgments have said that you cannot have reservation on the basis of economic conditions alone. This contradicts that. The second is that the total quota of reservations should not exceed a certain percentage. This contradicts that. So I say, as a citizen, as an administrator, as I have said in multiple contexts on multiple occasions, the great trouble we have as administrators is that we are seeing Supreme Court judgments that are contradictory to each other. And so I'm sitting on the GST Council, right? In the GST Council, we have a group of ministers on how to apply GST to casinos, horse racing, and online gaming. The whole committee is frozen. The GOM is frozen because there are like 20 cases from 1960s till this March, where the definition of what is considered a game of skill and game of chance and whether horse racing falls into A or B, there are conflicting opinions coming out of Supreme Court judgments. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you have Supreme Court judgments that are contradictory to each other, now you find it difficult to administer a government because you don't know which one to follow at what time, right? Case in point, of course, a much less consequential issue on how to tax horse racing. Is it a game of skill or game of chance? How to tax online rummy? Is it a game of skill or game of chance? But this same principle applies here also. In fact, I just was in Chennai. I'll give you the context.
Sure.
I was invited to a book by a former judge of the Madras High Court, Justice Thiagarajan, and one of the other guests of honor was a retired Supreme Court judge. And the title of the book is "The Constitution is Not What It Is." The Constitution of India is not what it is. And it's a riff-off of a statement made by a very senior judge in the US, who at one point has said, the Constitution of the United States is not what it is what we say it is. Basically, that's the job of the judges, to interpret the Constitution.
Sure.
That is the weighty responsibility that lies on the shoulders of the judiciary. Now, if the judiciary doesn't follow precedent, and then I cited an example actually, I cited an actual instance. I used to live in the US, as you may know. In the Jersey City Courthouse, which is then one of the eminent buildings, there is a inscription, stone inscription. And it says, "Precedent makes law. If you stand well, stand still." Right? Always check for the precedent before you make a decision, and be very reluctant to overstep or upturn it because you have now created a new law. That's basically the implication of that. Precedent makes law. If you stand well, stand still. Be very reluctant to go against precedent because you're upsetting a lot of other things. Right? That doesn't seem to be happening today. Right? I'm saying all the way from horse racing and online rummy to reservations.